Hello everyone, you are all welcome to lecture number 982, and that is in continuation of the problem of sustenance of chemical industry part 2. In previous lecture I have already discussed lot of factors and also to identify different type of chemicals and the growth of chemical industries, and at the same time the growth of a global population, and to interact with each other and how to sustain for both of them. How to sustain the population means after multiplying lot of different type of products, and then how to sustain the life means health hazard and some other problem. And now recently some elements are widely used in chemical industries, and there are also chemicals, some rare earth elements out of 26 REEs, that is rare earth elements, that is there are also metals, rare earth metal you can say, and the most important and popular nowadays is lithium. So now lithium is extracted from nature with very complicated technique, and this lithium is available only in China, that is 95%, and then 3% in Australia, 2% in America. And nowadays lithium is very much in high demand to sustain all the digital equipments, instruments, cell phone, laptop, and so many other chips, all this. And then if you come to paint and pigment industry, where we need metallurgy, that is titanium dioxide. So the titanium technology and extraction of titanium is also very important nowadays, because titanium dioxide is fine white paint, shining white paint, and no any other oxide of metal can compete the quality of titanium dioxide white paint. So this is also very much in demand nowadays when we are talking of chemical industries. Then come to 21st century growth, that is in microbiology synthesis. So there are a lot of industry now which are based on fermentation, and this fermentation is done by microbes like yeast. And fermentation means it is the oxidation of all these complex compounds in presence of living cell. And Pasteur Louis Pasteur in 1826, he gave this method of that we call it pasteurization, where a lot of carbohydrate, especially the sugar, glucose or fructose, they were converted into ethyl alcohol. Nowadays power alcohol industries are there to use as a source of energy. And also with the help of this microbiology synthesis procedure, or the application of microbes in the synthesis of different food products like alcohol, methanol, acetic acid, vinegar, and even now we are targeting to synthesize our vegetable oil from crude oil in the form of petrochemical with the help of microbes. And then the organic foods. When we are talking of organic foods, means we are going to synthesize different type of organic compounds in the form of protein, in the form of carbohydrate, in the form of peptide, and that's why it is called organic foods. That is also one of the area where a lot of chemical industries are involved. And then sweetener, that is synthetic material, and there are a lot of carbohydrate are converted into amorphous substance which can be used to substitute the crystalline refined product. So these are all very, very important chemical industries. Also the medicine, pharmaceuticals, especially from natural sources like different type of alkaloids, heroin, cocaine, nicotine, tobacco industry, lot of medicines which are based on extraction of active principles from plant. In India, China, Japan, lot of industries are based which are isolating the active principles from different medicinal plants. So all these activities, they are all done by the chemical process, and we have challenges and also how to sustain them, and at the same time with growing global population. So nowadays, that is in 21st century, and that is in the year 2021, lot of chemical industrial processes are going on, especially in the area of plant growth, animal growth, and the production of organic food by using fermentation, that is microbes, that we call it microbiology synthesis. So with all these reactions and chemical processes, we are having lot of growth of different type of chemical industries to meet the demand. So these I have given is a very interesting part. So number one is that is plant growth regulators. So now we are synthesizing plant growth regulators in the form of herbicide, and these herbicides, they can accelerate the plant growth once they are destroyed or damaged, and there are chemicals that they can selectively destroy the other unwanted herbs, leaving our rice or wheat crops. So they are physiologically active substances with respect to plants, and that can cause the desired changes in their growth and development. Also, these substances, they can bring the change in their physiological aspect as per our desire and demand. And some herbicides which are used to control weeds, and they help to accelerate the growth of plants. The most important active plant growth stimulators are separated microbiologically from the products of metabolism of that is fungi and higher plants, and that is very important stimulator is known as gibberellins, and from the gibberellins it is isolated. The other plant stimulators are desiccants and defoliants, used for dehydration of plant leaves prior to its maturity for harvesting. Also, some organic compounds are used for plant growth, and they are like dinitro-alkyl phenols, very common for plant growth. Second is calcium cyanamide and soluble chlorates. Number two, animal growth. Here we have gone through the plant growth. Now the chemical industries which are producing such type of substances, and they can help in animal growth, and they are known as animal growth stimulators. Are those substances which suppress the development of infections, diseases in animals. At present, the chemical industry is synthesizing new biological stimulators, increasing the fertility of livestock, fish, and insect. Where if I say insect, it is friendly one like honeybee. So honeybee insect is producing millions of tons of honey, which are globally used as a sweetening agent. Is a pure form of glucose, and also medicinally it is very important. So that is also used to grow some very good honey bee. Number three, microbiological synthesis. So this microbiological synthesis means here we are using living cells, that is known as enzymes. And once we are using enzymes, living cell, that is known as fermentation. Fermentation is the breaking down of complex molecule into simpler one in presence of living cell, and that is called enzyme, and that is in absence of air, and the oxidation will take place, and that oxidation process is called fermentation. And this process was given by very well-known scientist Louis Pasteur in 1826, and from that time lot of fermentation process are there, and we are having lot of industries based on this fermentation process, like alcoholic beverages. And with the help of that alcoholic beverages, we are producing millions of liters of ethyl alcohol, methyl alcohol, acetic acid, vinegar. Lot of petrochemical are produced by this fermentation, and out of that we are using even nowadays power alcohol. Power alcohol means we are using in automobile for the substitute of fossil fuel. So these are all the new development with this microbiological synthesis. Is applied to synthesis done by enzymes. Today the microbiological and this synthesis of proteins from light oils, normal paraffins, methanol, ethanol, acetic acid and other petroleum products is being carried out industrially. The use of only 4% of the world petroleum extraction for microbiological synthesis will produce the material or protein for 4 billion human beings. So only 4% of that petroleum crude oil is needed to produce all these. And for your kind information, it is already lot of laboratories globally they are involved to synthesize vegetable oil, to synthesize wheat, to synthesize rice in the chemical industry rather than growing in the field. And from petroleum we have already got the petroleum jelly and lot of paraffin, and from that we are trying to produce vegetable oil, cooking oil. So lot of chemical industries are active, and where lot of human activities are there, and there is lot of sustainability. So here I am going to discuss about lot of chemical industries which are involved in the chemical process of manufacture of organic food, and then extraction, purification of lot of medicinal compounds from plant sources, and also it involves some bacteriological activity to get the hydrogen and again combine it to produce formaldehyde and some other processes. So lot of new approaches are there, and that is serious problem, challenges for chemical industries and also to sustain them. So here the number 4 is bacterial stimulation to produce hydrogen. Now we are using bacterial process, bacteria, how to produce the hydrogen, using certain bacteria that stimulate hydrogen. With the help of bacteria, it is possible to involve oxygen and the atmospheric carbon dioxide into a reaction, and which yields formaldehyde. So here with the help of bacteria we are able to produce the hydrogen, and that hydrogen will combine with the oxygen that is in atmosphere. CO2 is present, and after the reaction these products are formed, and they are like formaldehyde and water. Microbiological process is used in the hydrolysis chemical industry. So this microbiological process is also used, and that is called in microbiological process industries. And in those industries where the process is used in the hydrolysis of the chemical industry, when fermenting the saccharine substances, and those saccharine substances in the production of, which is used in the production of alcohols, wine making, that is mainly all we call it alcoholic beverages, where we are producing with the saccharine substances means mainly they are carbohydrates, cellulose, starch, and from that with the help of fermentation We are producing wine, vodka, beer, brandy, lot of alcoholic product that is called alcoholic beverages. And but the manufacture of feed is, it is also used in the production of cheese making, and also in leather industry. Number 5, saccharine chemical industry. In developed countries, the organic synthesis makes use of vegetative materials. So here this saccharine chemical industry is a very new approach in 21st century in most of the advanced countries like in Europe and America, where they are bringing vegetative growth with the help of saccharine chemical industry, that is known as vegetative raw materials, and that is called saccharine chemical process. And saccharine, that is also known as saccharine chemistry, and in this saccharine chemistry, saccharine chemical is nothing but how we are using different type of cellulose, starch and carbohydrates, how cellulose, all the three is converted into glucose and carbohydrate, and then it is converted into power alcohol, all this, that is called saccharine chemistry. And number 6, synthesis of organic food. It needs the special separation of compounds and their purification. So in the case of organic food industry, we need a special type of technique how to separate and how to purify the compound. And here recently semi-permeable membrane is synthesized, and that semi-permeable membrane is capable of using for desalination of water, means it will allow certain molecules and other sodium and other toxic metals will be prohibited to allow to pass through it. That is, selective filtration. It is used in that, and that is it needs the special separation of compounds and their purification. This chemical process is best performed by microorganisms from which special semi-permeable film called membranes. So these membranes are produced with the help of microorganisms and are manufactured. And this membrane has been developed in recent years for purification of synthetic foods, and is used for the separation of milk, desalination and air. So for that purpose it is used. Number 7, manufacture of medicine. This area is very important because here lot of medicinal plants, they have biological active compounds, and medicinally they are important, and they can be isolated and purified, and that is the manufacture of medicine. The manufacture of medicine is one of the branches of the organic synthesis. Chemical industry produces huge amount of most diverse medicines such as alkaloids, glycosides, steroids, antibiotics, terpene, vitamins, hormones, antiseptics, and also anti-tumor. So with this I will stop here. Thank you very much for watching the lecture.